man, a lot of people are like, oh, the youth needs to be, like, you got to be locked in during your youth. And yes, that is very important. I don't think I was locked in enough on my fitness, on my health and stuff like that. But another thing that's important as well is you got to have fun and connect. The problem with a lot of guys on YouTube is they say don't prioritize women, it's not that important, just focus on your grind. Connecting with women is extremely important for your mental health, for your physical health. I didn't prioritize it enough. I had girls throwing themselves at me, and I would like barely hang out with them. I would barely see them. I wouldn't try to make a move enough times because I was like, I listened to what all the YouTubers said, like, oh, it's not that important. And then a lot of these girls that were throwing themselves at me, they actually lost interest over time because I wasn't reciprocating enough. And I broke a lot of girls' hearts. And the thing is, you want to, if you're dealing with a woman, you want to always listen to her over any internet advice, because she knows what she wants. And if she doesn't want to communicate with you, then that's her, that's kind of on her. Some women just aren't really good communicators. But the thing is, like, I don't know. It's just, that's the thing is, there's a lot of women that that were throwing themselves at me, and I didn't make enough of an effort to go see them when they hit me up, and I regret it. And a lot of it was because my health wasn't as in order as it should be. So yes, you do need to lock in, because if I was maybe more locked in, perhaps it would have been easier to see them. But you don't want to wait for the perfect moment to start socializing. That's the problem with a lot of this red pill stuff, is some of these people are like, don't worry about women, just lock in, and then one day you'll find the right woman once your life is all together. When will that day come? What if that day never comes? Isn't there always room to improve? Isn't there always room to grow? And that's the problem, is like, kids can't just be kids anymore. A lot of kids in today's world are thrown into such a harsh environment that they have to, work their whole lives away, and it's not right. No one should be born into that. We deserve freedom as human beings, We could have fruit trees growing everywhere. We could have cannabis growing everywhere. We could have mushrooms growing everywhere. So at the end of the day, it's like food just grows out of the earth. We could have heaven on earth. A lot of people are overworking, overstraining themselves. Yes, things are great, like we need construction workers, we need firefighters, but a lot of these people are underpaid. Meanwhile, the government collects all the taxes, the CEO collects all the money. A lot of people are being taken advantage of in today's economy, and so it can make it harder for people to just enjoy life. And that's an important part of life that you never want to forget, is enjoying life and connecting with people. I feel like I didn't prioritize it enough. There's a lot of mistakes I made growing up, but it's not necessarily my fault. I wasn't taught any better. I was in an extremely abusive environment, and a lot of times one of my parents, I won't say which one, actually discouraged me from having girlfriends or guy friends. I wasn't really like, they just didn't want to bring me to their house, or they wouldn't allow them over, and it was horrible. I was extremely isolated growing up. Meanwhile, I had to see people around me getting boyfriends, getting girlfriends, and they were just allowed to stay over, and I was the one weirdo that wasn't allowed to go over. I don't know, it was weird. I'm not gonna lie, it was really fucked up. I was very isolated growing up, and it wasn't necessarily my fault. I was raised that way, and my parents made me think that it was bad to party and that it was bad to have a girlfriend. I was told it's better to jack off than get a girlfriend, and that's fucked. That's so fucked up. And I was kind of forcefully isolated growing up by, from other people. And I maybe there's some other parents that do that, but my parent was extreme. Like, the Child Protective Services came to our house. Like, my parent was extreme. Like, it was extreme abuse, to the point where the Child Protective Services came to our house. But then, my parent, they knew how to put on a mask. So they knew how to put on a mask. So then they left because they didn't admit to anything. Just like, if police interrogate a criminal, they don't always get caught because they don't always admit to it. She blatantly just didn't admit to what she was doing, so then they left us alone. But I was extremely abused. I was in the hospital during prom, and so I was raised to essentially be isolated, and it kind of carried over into my adulthood because I started hearing about this red pill stuff, and I didn't have a strong foundation of knowledge to know that it's important to connect and that it's important to build networks. So I put women on the back burner, and now there's a lot of women that I could have really had an amazing time with that invited me over, that have boyfriends now, and it's just heartbreaking. Like, there's so many opportunities I missed because I would reject woman after woman after woman because, oh, I'm not ready yet. Meanwhile, they go fuck some dude that, you know, is a bum himself. And that's the thing, is there's no perfect day that you might be ready. In today's economy, you might get rich, but you might not. And that's the problem with money and capitalism, is everyone's supposed to be equal. We're all supposed to be working together to create heaven on earth. But you have to understand, with the way the economy is these days, you might get rich, you might not, and you have to accept that. And you have to understand that you have value with or without money, and you deserve to connect to beautiful women. You deserve to be loved. If you're a woman and you're looking for a man, you deserve to connect with a beautiful man. It doesn't matter if you're homeless. It doesn't matter if you have 1 million, 2 million. Don't listen to these people on YouTube, these red pill people that say, oh, money looks status. A lot of times women will go for the uglier or shorter or smaller guy just because he gives her more attention, because he's available. And that was my mistake, because I didn't make myself available to these people. And it breaks my heart because I kind of broke their heart. And again, it wasn't necessarily my fault too, because my mom would go out and scream at me when I was parked in the parking lot with a girl in her van. My mom would chase me and a girl out of the house while honking at us, or not out of the house, but down the street while honking at us with her car because I was in my car with a girl leaving the house. Like, my mom would say no, 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 no to having people over. And so if you have children, don't do that to them. Don't torture them like that. That's literally torturing your children. Like, your child just wants to have a social life and experience love like everyone else, and you're torturing them. Teach them about safe sex, because they're going to have sex either way. I still managed to have sex. It's just my relationships would fall apart, because what would happen is I would have sex with the girl, but because of how I grew up and how my mom wouldn't allow anyone over, and eventually it was my dad's new wife as well, my stepmom, that wouldn't allow my girlfriend over either. So neither parent's house at one point or not neither, because it was weird. It was like back and forth. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if my mom liked a girl, I might have been allowed to have her over, but if my mom didn't approve, I couldn't have her over, and it depended on the day and her mood, and it was just very iffy. And so women don't like that. They like consistency. So sometimes I would fall in love with a girl and I wasn't allowed to have her over, and she couldn't believe it, because she was allowed to have people over. She was allowed, you know, so she would get maybe like suspicious, like, oh, do you have another girl? Like, are you hiding something from me? And so it wasn't 100% my fault, and it's heartbreaking to think about that. I was almost forced to be isolated growing up, and it definitely affected my everything. It affected so much emotionally. And so don't do that to your children. Don't torture your children if you raise them. Don't isolate them. Teach them the importance of social skills. Teach them the importance of networking. Teach them the importance of building healthy relationships at a young age. Because if I would have known that, it would have saved my life. There's so many situations where people have gotten me out of ruts, like helped me when I needed them to. And I can't imagine how much better off I would be if I was taught how to actually network from a young age. And one of those things is like just having fun and enjoying. You know, enjoy the party if you're young and your friends are partying. Meet girls, talk to girls. You know, don't just work your life away. That's not what we're here for. We're here to create heaven on earth. We're here to connect. We're here to have fun. We're here to build communities. Don't just work your life away. Then isolate yourself. Even if your parents are forcing you to, have conversations with them. Explain to them how that's not right. Stand up for yourself. That's what I should have done at a younger age. because it's not right. It's extremely messed up. It's just not right. It's extremely messed up. So make sure you stand up for yourself. Do what you have to do. Do whatever it takes. Connect with others as much as you can. Don't allow yourself to be, I don't know how to explain it, It's just depressing to think about how many opportunities I missed because of my parents or because of myself. But I can't even blame myself because it's how I was raised, and I'm trying to change for the better and be more social. I'm trying to change for the better and connect. I'm trying to change for the better and learn how to love. But I've been single for a while now, but I want to try to start talking to more people in public, more guy friends, and make more woman friends as well. I feel extremely sad even just thinking about everything that's happened in the past, like all the opportunities I missed, all the girls that left me because I wasn't even allowed to have them over, and then they'd find another boyfriend, and all the girls that left me because I wouldn't be their boyfriend, even though I should have just asked, or even though I should have said yes. I would reject so many girls, and so many girls that I lost due to just overworking and not prioritizing them enough. I would just work. That's how I grew up, was just school. And they didn't let me even go to parties. It was fucked. It was psychotic. I wasn't allowed to do basic things with other kids and connect. Half of the time I couldn't have friends over, let alone a girl. It was psychotic. I was like 16, 17, 18, couldn't have friends half the time. And if I did have a friend, they had to put in all the effort. Like, my mom wouldn't drive me to them. They'd have to drive over, and they'd have to, half of the time, pick me up to go camping with them. And if I had a girlfriend, it was just... There was like a rare occasions where my mom would help out if she approved of the person, but she would, be very judgmental, so she wouldn't approve of a lot of people. And then my sister hated me growing up. She threatened to murder me. So my sister would made up rumors about this one girl I was with, and then my mom didn't like her because my sister told my mom that she was a slut, and my sister also told my mom that I got her pregnant, which I never did. It was fucking traumatic growing up in an environment where I was literally taught to just don't hang out with anyone, get good grades, work. And then as I grew up, I kept getting stuck in this pattern. I didn't realize what was happening. Like, I would get with a girl and then she would leave because she felt like I wasn't prioritizing her. I wasn't giving her enough attention. And I'm not saying you just have to have one woman. You can have as many women as you want. Or if you're a woman, you can have as many guys as you want. Or you can have one partner. That's your choice. But I'm saying, just try to connect. Just try to connect to people. Don't close yourself off. Don't just work your whole life away. You can always work tomorrow. I mean, I guess it depends on what job you have. You know what I mean? But everyone's in a different situation. You might have to work more, to make more money. But try to find time to see the people you love. And we need to create a society with more leisure time, because food just grows out of the earth. There's no way people should be working this hard just to barely be able to pay rent and barely be able to pay for food. It's almost like society is set up to isolate people. A lot of Americans don't even have one friend. A lot of men and women are single. It's kind of sad. So we need to do better as a society as a whole. But I was an extreme example growing up, because even compared to the rest of society, like I said, Child Protective Services were at my house. So my mom was extremely isolated me, extremely just a lot of things. And I love her, she's I love her, and I'm trying to work through it with her. I do love her. But it was very hard growing up. I tried to kill myself many times, and my mental health was awful. So just never forget the importance of community. Never forget the importance of connection. Never forget the importance of love. Don't listen to these red pill people that say, like, oh, don't worry about women, just get on your grind. Like, you're an alpha male, like, you need women. That's why God put them here. And even if you are celibate, if that's your choice, congratulations to you. Maybe you don't need women. There's some mucks that go their whole life without seeing a woman. But that's not how I want to live. I'm single now, but that's not how I want to be forever. And you got to be honest with yourself. What do you value in this life? Some people might value isolation more, but I was forced to be isolated at a young age, and I don't value it. I like my alone time, but it got out of hand when I was growing up. I was like always alone half the time, or like 90% of the time. It was insane. And I didn't learn how to healthily connect with women. And one of those things, the ways to healthily connect with women is consistency. You have to make time for them. You have to. And being consistent is very important. And if you have someone in your life you love, make sure you show it to them and communicate and do whatever it takes to make things work with them if you truly love them. And if you have multiple people, give them all some love as well. Or if you have one, that's great too. It's a personal choice. But just never forget the importance of human connection. Even if you're a celibate monk, that's how you choose to live. But if you choose to live that way, connect with yourself. But I'm telling you guys, yes, you can survive celibate, but is that what you want to be? Is that what you actually want to be? Because that's not what I wanted deep down inside. I let different opinions stray me like red pill, and then I let the Christianity stray me like no sex before marriage, and it just made me fucking weird and stiff and fucking depressed. And then my parents, the way they raised me, that was fucking horrific. Like I said, Child Protective Services showed up. I tried to kill myself at a young age because I felt unloved and abused. And I'm not saying I don't love my mom and dad. I do love them, and they're trying to help me to this day. Maybe they just didn't know what they were doing. Maybe my dad thought hitting me in the head would teach me a lesson, even though I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. And I was literally doing nothing wrong at all. When I told my dad what happened and why he did it, he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I'm sorry, So I love them, and I'm trying to build a healthy relationship with them. But growing up, I just didn't know what was going on, and I should have prioritized building a healthy relationship with them sooner. Because even if you're being abused, you can stand up for yourself if you're a kid. I should have stood up for myself, even though I was a kid, and I should have stood my ground. Because even if you're a kid, you have the right. But they would always be like, you don't have the right to talk back. But at the end of the day, you do. You do. No matter if you're a kid or an adult or a grand person or an old person, your view matters. Your voice matters. And you deserve love, and you deserve connection. And don't withhold that from yourself. Don't purposefully avoid women just because you're not rich yet. Don't purposefully avoid women just because any reason. If you're into men and you're a woman, don't avoid men just because you can approach men too if you're a woman. Don't let society tell you, oh, the man has to approach you. I've had plenty of women make the first move on me, and it was a blessing. So get out there, and if you want to socialize, do it, and connect with people and build community and be respectful and be nice to other people, and just understand that those fun memories where you're in love and you're enjoying life and you're connecting with other people, that's what life is all about. Don't let anyone turn you into a robot. Don't let anyone tell you that your grades are more important than your friends. You can do both at the same time. Don't let anyone tell you your work is more important than women. You can do both at the same time. There's homeless people that sleep together. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be homeless, but I'm just saying, you can do both at the same time. No matter what stage of life you're in, you deserve love and you deserve human connection. Never forget that. I hope this helps. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. Till next one, I'm out. Peace.